Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Yeah, we're on location down at the 2024 PGA show. We're talking a little bit about the past 2 days. It's been a really good 2 days. And before we get into today's episode, just want to let you know today's episode is brought to you by Titleist and the brand new T Series irons. So, the brand new T Series T100, T150, T200, T350. And the utility irons, there are a ton of options. You guys know that I've been playing T200 long irons, T150, 6 through pitching wedge in my set. I went to a local Titleist fitting here, or not here, back in Metro Detroit. Had an absolute blast actually getting to get fit and had a lot of fun. I hit all the different irons, got to try a bunch of different shafts. Overall, just had a whole lot of fun, but then learned a ton too. We dialed in dispersion, distance, descent angle, all those things to make sure that I was actually hitting the best irons for me. And the T150s have been awesome. They're kind of like the perfect cheater iron for me. Lets me get away with some bad swings, but it still gives me great feel, great distance, great height, and overall control of the golf ball. So if you're taking a look at the brand new T-Series irons, which you should, any one of them, definitely go to Titleist.com, take a look at the local fittings near your area, and definitely go get fit because it makes a huge difference, and it's a whole lot of fun. You get to hit all different combinations. It's a blast. So Titleist.com, check out the brand new T-Series irons. And yeah, you may be looking here and noticing that I am in a quite a different backdrop to my usual basement shafts and head covers and all that. Behind me is an LED avatar mural that is on the wall because we're down in Orlando. We're down at the PGA show for 2024, and our Airbnb house that we're in has a lot of Disney and type themed rooms in it. And this is the game room, which it does have a little echo. Hopefully that doesn't come through too badly. But it's kind of a quiet room here, as this is where our crew's hanging out. The Golf Direct crew's hanging out in a cool house that we're all just hanging out in. And this evening we already went to dinner and all that, and jumped on the podcast. But having a great time down here. The show is actually pretty lively. I know a lot of people talk about the show and what it is, and who's there and all that. And I tell you what, this show this year, where Tuesday is demo day. It's outdoors at the Orange County National Golf Center. It's a massive circular range. It was there and did that on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday evening, and this was the first day of the indoor show, so in the convention center. And I'll tell you what, it was packed. There were so many people there. There were just people everywhere. It was really kind of cool to see, because I know sometimes people say, is the show, where's it going? Where's it headed? I can definitely say that there were a ton of people there today. Got to see a whole lot of, media friends, manufacturer, OEM friends, all that. It was a whole good time. So that's one of the best things about the show, is going down and actually seeing, all the people that you kind of email, phone calls, texts, whatever with throughout the year, but you don't necessarily get to see their face all the time. And now you get to see their face, say hi, all that. It was a whole lot of fun. So demo day started off really well. Had perfect weather. Sometimes every once in a while we've had some cold and rainy days out in demo day, but it's outside. Like I said, massive circular range, and everybody's just set up there. A lot of cool stuff. Got to see the brand new Ping i530s. The Blueprint T and S were both out there at the Ping booth, along with the 10K driver. But I do say the i530s look really good. That was the first time I've seen them in hand, and they looked really solid. I think they don't have a ton of offset from the back, and that they do look a little bigger. But when you set them down in a dress, they're definitely a little bit more compact than you'd expect. And I think everybody who picked up the i530s was really impressed. So again, hollow body iron, going to be exciting to see, because I know that the 500, that i500 series, has gone through a lot of changes, a lot of updates, and we've seen updates in feel as well as performance. And while I didn't hit anything, I was busy running around doing a lot of social media posts and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to hit them yet. They did look really good. And the other part of it too, the i530, was that when you look at it, you think you're going to maybe even see some of that back muscle in the long irons, as the hollow bodies, it kind of, bleeds out. And you don't. They hide it really well. So a really good looking iron. It'd be exciting to see how that does. I think a lot of people are going to like it, and I think a lot of people will be playing that iron, in the next this coming year. So really good looking iron there. Of course, the Blueprint T's look amazing. Blueprint S's look really good. And as I thought, the Blueprint S's don't quite look as long heel to toe as they do in photos. They definitely look a little bit more proportionate. So that was a plus for for me in terms of walking around. But demo day, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of nice interesting things out there. Like I said, that was kind of the big one there. Then Never Compromise is back. Cleveland Strixon's brought back Never Compromise, which is pretty interesting. They got a pretty cool milled putter line, tons of options in terms of customization. Pretty interesting fitting setup. If you're a dealer for them, they've got some interesting things to kind of set lie angle, as well as grip size, length, and then they also have like a huge kit with the movable weights from the sole. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. The milling on it looks really nice. I know we did kind of a launch article, launch piece on them as well. You're going to have kind of the traditional, if you remember the old school Never Compromise putters that kind of had a black heel and toe and then kind of a gray center. They're going to have that kind of livery or motif to it, and then there's also going to be like an all kind of stainless finish that has some nice milling marks, has some decently deep milled face. It's kind of a medium mill on it. The feel is actually pretty soft. I rolled a few at home actually before we came down, and then I think I hit or rolled one putt while there in the Cleveland booth. They had all the putters out, and I think I rolled one of them there. But really good feel, really soft. Really good looking putters, high end, all milled putters, and they look really good. They've got a bunch of styles from traditional blade down to kind of like an Odyssey number 7 Fang style. All those there look really good. They did a nice job with those. So I think it'll be interesting to see how people react to the Never Compromise putters. But overall, I think they did a good job with those. For demo day also, I'm trying to think of the Cobra stuff. The Cobra booth was hopping. Of course, they always have their DJ going. They're kind of like the party spot, and usually they have a little maybe happy hour reception for some media and some stuff later in the day. But the LS, the dark speed stuff was still going strong. A lot of people demoing, a lot of people hitting it. Really getting a lot of good, good talk over there. I think honestly, I'm kind of surprised with the dark speed LS fairway wood. Looks really good. It's a little bit bigger, I think, than last year's. The footprint's just overall a little bit bigger, but it's still got a really traditional look. Somewhat, deep face, so you're going to be able to hit it off the tee. It sounds and feels really good. I've hit a couple balls with it so far, but nothing yet. Too much to actually give it like a full review or anything. But sound and feel is really good. It's a titanium head with a carbon crown and pushed forward movable weight, so it should be pretty low spin. Really good looking club though. I really like the look of it. It's definitely less intimidating than last year's LS. Last year's LS to me was like you set it down and you really felt like you had to be perfect to hit that club well. And I feel like this one here gives you, may give you a little bit more forgiveness. Maybe gives you a little leeway on not being so perfect, which will be nice. But the drivers, fairways, all that for the dark speed line. A lot of people in that booth. A lot of people trying stuff out. A lot of people hitting stuff. And then also we went and checked out the brand new 2004 Ventus. So there's a brand new Ventus Blue for 2024. Fujikura had a big launch event just outside of demo day, which is a little bit of ways away, but on a range. And I didn't actually hit any balls with it. I didn't hit the new Ventus. I'm going to kind of, wait until I get my hands on one more permanently, get my own. But it looks really good. It's got a lighter matte blue finish. The Ventus logos and stuff like that are kind of like hollowed out. They're more of an outline. And then the big story about it is, what's different. Profile is the same. So you're going to have a little softer handle section, ultra stiff tip section, and a little stiffer midsection, just like the regular blue that's currently out. But the current one actually was done in 2019. So it's almost 5 years old, which is amazing because it's all over tour still. It's played all over. But the new one there, basically the big story, updated VeloCore. So the new VeloCore Plus runs through that, and it's a full-length bias core, a little different material. I think the other one, I don't want to get into it. We do have a video on the Golf the Rear X YouTube page that I have a little interview with Spencer Reynolds from Fujikura, and he kind of breaks down a little bit of that bias core makeup, but a little different material, full length, and it's multi-piece. So a couple different, like 46 ton or something like that. It's a combination of 40 something ton, 30 something ton, and it's mixed in there, and it's a multi-piece bias core. So it's a little bit updated there. to add stability, add a little more kind of elasticity to increase ball speed, but before adding stability, so you're not losing any of that accuracy or any of the consistency that shaft's been known to have. Right now, they're only launching blue, so blue is the one right now. They won't, they will not deny or confirm that we'll see red or black, but let's be honest, we will probably see red and black sometime soon, I would believe, or sometime in the near future. We'll probably see red and black, but that is not anything that they're talking about yet. But the blue looks really good. As I said, a little lighter blue, matte finish. They've changed up kind of the Ventus kind of graphic up near the handle section has changed a little bit as well. Pretty much full run of flexes and all that. I was seeing guys hit it. It seemed like people were really impressed with the feel of it, but I did not hit any balls after 8 hours walking around the convention center. The old back was not up for pounding a bunch of balls, but seeing a lot of people out there hitting them, and a lot of people seemed pretty impressed with the feel of the new Ventus. So that's going to be exciting to see how that does. It is actually going to replace Ventus, the current Ventus blue that is out right now. So the one from 2019, the dark blue, will eventually go away. It is not being phased out immediately or anything like that. Like, they're going to take their time. It's going to be available for a while. So if it's something where you're going into a fitting, something like that, or a shaft that, Ventus Blue is a shaft that you really did love, you're still going to be able to get it, still going to be able to get your hands on it for a while. But eventually, it will go away, and the 2024 will take over. So pretty exciting there. That is a shaft that, again, 5 years old. It's been around for 5 years on tour, in amateur bags, and now we're going to see it finally updated, which is pretty cool. I know when TR launched, everybody kind of thought, is TR going to be the replacement for blue? Definitely, and it wasn't. Ended up being an additional piece, but now we are finally kind of seeing the replacement for Fujikura Ventus. So I'm going to be excited to hit blue, but now knowing there's new ones coming, I'm going to be even more excited to check out red and black. I'll say if and when they become available, because Fuji's being a little hush hush on that. So I'll be excited to hit those and give them a try. But the new one looked really good, and heard a lot of good things from people talking about it out on the range. So demo day was then. It was a whole lot of fun, and then today was the first day indoors. We walked indoors, and they started off in the convention center. So we get there. We usually get there as early as possible. Like, we're there at, I think the doors open at 9. We were there at like 8:30, something like that. I think we left our little Airbnb here at 8. Jumped right in there, and we just started going. And we had some guys here taking photos and all that. If you go to our forums, golfwx.com, go to the forums. We have a ton of photos in there from demo day and today, or actually both days, because by the time this goes out, this is going out on a Thursday morning. But you're going to have Tuesday and Wednesday photos in there. There's a bunch of photos. I think there was over almost 1,000 photos that went in from just Wednesday alone. But in the convention center, if you've never been to Orlando's Orange County Convention Center, it is massive, absolutely massive. So when you walk in, there are booths from, it seems like it's a mile of booths. It's crazy. So the whole convention center is basically covered, and you've got everything from, companies like, Cobra, Mizuno, Callaway, those guys with, clubs and stuff, all the way to a lot of the clothing and accessory manufacturers and everything in between. So I know I did a lot of today I put on Instagram of, what people wanted to see, and I kind of chased those things down. But a lot of good things to see. Some of the highlights, I think, of the day. One that I know Golf WXers are interested in is the brand new Foresight GC Quad Max. So the GC Quad went through a little bit of an update. It's got a brand new magnesium chassis that's going to lighten it up by about a pound, almost a pound and a half. I think it's like a 1.3 pounds. A little bigger battery for better battery life, and then the white back on it is one of the big cosmetic change when you look at it there. But then also it gets a touchscreen, removal of the buttons on the right and left hand side of the screen, all but one. There's like two buttons left, but everything else is going to be touchscreen or changed on the app on your phone. But then you get into the software changes, and the big ones there are you're going to have a total touchscreen that's available to be customized. So the screen that you look at on the unit itself, you'll be able to change those tiles up, as they call them, tiles, so you can be able to project what you want. So if you're somebody who's working on club path, club or club path or face angle and things like that. Like you can put club data up there and have that displayed. If you're somebody who's kind of like dialing in some clubs or testing out drivers or driver shafts or something, and you're looking for launch, spin, those type of numbers, you can put those up there. And the best part is you kind of have almost presets. So if you're somebody who's kind of maybe moving between, you're going to do some club stuff, some club work on the game one day, and then move to doing some club junkie type testing the next. You're going to be able to have kind of presets and have those say, there, where you just hit like a button and it'll load all those tiles the way you want them. And then you can just, go on the app on your phone and create it the way you want. You could have something that shows just one tile. You can have up to 6. There's no 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So I guess they were saying that displaying 5 was really difficult when you get into like some of the fonts and things like that and trying to highlight it. It was an extremely difficult one to do. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 tiles that you can show off. The other thing that I think is really cool, it's got a session record. So you can basically start a session, which is, going to hit a bunch of golf balls, and it'll actually record everything right on the unit itself. So it'll basically hold on to all that data, and then you can go back later and upload that data from the device onto your like iPad or iPhone or whatever device, and view it, look at it, export it, whatever you want to do with it. But you don't have to have anything going while it records those sessions. And I think it holds like 5 sessions on there. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to be able to walk out to the range and just simplicity wise, set it down, hit some balls, not worry about it, and then go back and actually kind of take a look at that data. And especially if it's something where you're working on, a swing change or something like that, to be able to do it without, without having to stare at an iPad or something like that and just concentrate on what you're doing, I think is kind of a big deal. I think that's pretty awesome. And then a couple other little changes like that, little updates. But big change to the UI and a lot of that stuff. So really cool unit. I think that's pretty nice that they've had some good updates to it. And it'll be interesting to see. But I guess out on tour, a lot of people excited. Really, a lot of people want to jump into this new one. And the few that we've seen on tour that our guys out on tour got photos of are just units out there. They don't have yet enough to fulfill everybody on tour who wants them. So that'll be coming shortly. So you're probably going to see a lot of GC Quad Maxes, on tour very, very shortly. So the white backs are going to be very popular this whole time. They've also redesigned kind of some of the stuff, like some of the touch points. It makes it easier to grab. They've got a redesigned handle. They've also got the whole front side in between the 4 cameras is all rubber. So if you grab it from the middle, easier to grab, non-slip, all that. So that's pretty cool as well. So Foresight GC Quad Max is a pretty interesting one that I saw walking around the show floor today. Another update in terms of launch monitor stuff. I know Full Swing's got an update coming. They've got a really cool one that kind of has dual camera angles to record your swing, and on that video they basically project the numbers, the data from those swings, ball speed, spin, all that stuff that will project onto there. So if you're working with a coach, something like that, you can be hitting balls, have the video of the swing, and it's like a full, bigger resolution video of the swing, and then the numbers to go with it. So if you send that to a coach, something like that, they can kind of look at the swing and then also look at the numbers, see what things are doing, and kind of make probably better recommendations from there, being able to kind of look at both data and visual. So kind of a cool update. They've also done some stuff with the graphics in the so that's coming. I think that's not out yet. That's coming soon. And then in the actual app, they've got some new stuff where you're going to be able to, my favorite thing, you're going to finally be able to kind of compare clubs, shafts, or whatever. You're going to be able to kind of go through and export data and have kind of all the metrics for a club, or whatever, however you organize the clubs and stuff in your setup, or your bag as they call it. But going to be able to really organize those and get some data and do some better comparisons without having to go in and select a drop down to select, carrier, spin, or launch angle, or whatever it is. You're going to be able to kind of look at all that stuff at once and check that out, which is going to be awesome. And then also some color coding options on clubs, because I know if you're hitting a driver versus a driver and you look at the dispersion chart, they're both blue. They don't, they're both the same color because they're both drivers. And now you're going to be able to, make one red, make one yellow, make one blue, whatever it is, and kind of differentiate them a little bit, just for better organization. Be able to see that, bird's eye view of dispersion and things like that. And that looks pretty exciting. So I'm excited to see that update. And I think that one might be available now. I was actually just using that unit like a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't there. And when I was over there, they showed me it, and I pulled up my app, and it like basically said like, it's going to update, and here's some new features. So I think that update is out there now, which I think is really, really cool, and really excited to see that come out. So that'll be something definitely useful for people like myself or you guys who are kind of comparing clubs and trying to figure out, differences between drivers or shafts, or different setups or settings in your drivers and things like that, or different irons or whatever it is. You'll be able to kind of compare clubs easier and go through that data a little bit faster, and I think more organized. So that'll be an exciting update. Some of the other stuff, there's some just a lot of kind of cool stuff. We walked over to the apparel side, tons of cool apparel, lots of different things there. A lot of really cool head covers also that you kind of get to see. I didn't dive into the training aid stuff yet. I walked over, and there's Scott Golf, which I think is kind of based primarily more in the UK, but they're doing more in the US. Scott Golf had some really beautiful blades that I put on the Golf the BRX channel, the Instagram on a story post. And then also they had a utility iron called the Fury that just flat out looked awesome. Like, I really want one. It's got, like, the one I held, and again, did a little video on the Golf the BRX Instagram. It's a 4-iron. It was 22 degrees, had like almost zero offset to it, done in all black finish. Now, it was a little bit wider on the sole, but it had a pre-worn leading edge, trailing edge relief. And when you set it down, you would see a touch of the back like kind of muscle or part of the back. But it was pretty minimal, nothing more than you would see with some other utility irons out there. But again, just zero offset, really good shape, a little bit more compact, and just a good looking iron. It looks like it should have great turf interaction, and just a solid looking utility. So I'm super, I'm going to try to get my hands on one of those. Really excited. They look really, really good. Probably one of the best utility irons I've ever seen. And if you're looking for something, a utility iron with no offset, this is the one. And I was talking to one of the guys there, and they were saying, I mean, it's definitely long. They didn't really talk much about launch, like, was it a higher or lower launching utility? But they said it is definitely long. It's got some heat to it, being hollow. And yeah, the looks are just almost perfect. I think they really nailed it. So really want to see that. Some interesting stuff. Seeing Ben Hogan back. Ben Hogan is back. That somebody is resurrecting the brand, which is kind of cool. They had some interesting stuff there, like wedges that had like laser etched graphics on them, which was kind of cool. But the other side of it, there wasn't all the irons and all that, like the Icon, the PTX2, I think it's PTX Pro or PTX Tour. Those are kind of unchanged going into this year, so you're able to get the same iron. The blades, I mean, of course, the Icon blades look beautiful, but they look to be the same. So they are back, but I didn't see anything brand new from them. It looked like kind of the same product they had before is currently available. So I don't know if we'll see anything new or when. They did have golf balls though. They had Hogan golf balls, which is pretty interesting. I didn't grab a box yet. I'm going to try to go when I go back tomorrow or today. As you listen to this, I'll probably go back and try to take a look at those and see what's going on with them. But Hogan golf balls there. A lot of cool shoes. Went into like the Echo booth. A lot of cool Echo designs. A lot of some interesting colors. I feel like they're toned down a touch. Not seeing quite as many like wild like neons and stuff like that. A little bit more muted of being white, off-white, black, some stuff like that. And then also some interesting like Skechers shoes. Skechers got some interesting shoes as well with some new sole designs and some slightly kind of in between sporty and traditional looks. So a lot of that stuff was pretty interesting. And then you get into the clothing side. There's so much crazy clothing out there, just everything. I mean, Eastside Golf was there, Malbin was there, and then you get into the traditional like Ashworth is back. So it'll be interesting to see what Ashworth does. But they're back after kind of being Ashworth and then Ashworth Adidas and then kind of going away and now back. So a lot going on there with those guys. But then everything from from Ralph Lauren and all that. So tons of clothing, tons of accessories, a lot of cool head covers. Some pretty cool stuff from Sunfish. They had some cool dancing head covers with different designs. The guys over at Winston Collection had some really cool stuff. They kind of like a heavy fleece looking, like a fleece jacket type look with a kind of a round patch or whatever on the top of it. Had a bunch of different colors in that, purple, yellow, stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff there. But overall, just a lot of accessories that I haven't gotten to yet. So the club stuff, again, is kind of the same. Mizuno had some cool stuff. So all the kind of the Keith Mitchell STX, they had it there with the white top. Looks pretty good. I mean, it looks interesting. It's definitely got a different look to it when you set it down. And they had a couple of them there. I think it kind of gives it almost a slightly more rounded, more, I don't want to say more symmetrical look, but it definitely has just a different look than the gloss black. But the white looks really good. I thought better than I thought. I kind of had low expectations for it after just seeing the photos from tour from Keith Mitchell's, but getting it in hand and actually setting it down, I thought it actually looked pretty good. You can kind of see a video of it. I think still on again, Golf the Burek's story post. There's a picture of one there, even at a dress. I tried to get it as best I could. But they had some cool stuff with like 241. I think they were 241s and kind of the blue, the IP blue finish. They had some of the blades, like what is it, the 221s in copper from before. So there's just some cool stuff that was in there. But the Mizuno stuff looks really good. So I had some new Ping PLD putters. Some new ones there, some new shapes, some little different things where you can have some laser etching in there, custom done, but like a beautiful antique finish on one of the answers. So the PLD putters look really good. Trying to think what else. I mean, there's just so much. Like you go through and it's you see so much stuff, and it's kind of like hard trying to remember what is what and how much you saw. But it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. Walked around. I saw got to meet a bunch of people. Bunch of people came up and said hello, that they did follow the show, the site, and it was super nice to have people come up and say that. It was appreciated a lot, and very humbled by it as well. So everybody who does follow along like you guys do and all that, I truly do appreciate it, and it makes I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So it makes it a whole lot of fun. So PGA Show day 2 in the books. We got day 3 coming up on Thursday. We're going to dump more photos from Thursday as well. So if you haven't gone to the forums to take a look, definitely go do that. You're going to see a ton of photos in there. We've broken out. Each headline kind of tells you what's in there, and there's usually 1 to 3 brands and stuff in there. Maybe a little bit more if they've got smaller booths, the accessories or stuff like that. So definitely go to the Golf the Burek's forums and check out all the photos that we've been taking, and hopefully you'll follow along again on social tomorrow, because I think I'm going to try to do some of that as well. But a whole lot going on. It was a whole lot of fun. Oh, I also got to, if you follow me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod, got to see that your boy got to hang out for a short time with Mr. Bob Vokey and Mr. Aaron Dill. So I got a little picture with Mr. Vokey, and it was pretty fun. He's just such a nice guy. He's funny. He's just one of those great guys in golf. So I got to talk to him. We'll have like kind of a video interview talking about SM10s on the Golf the Burek's YouTube page shortly. I just have to get that edited and uploaded. And then same thing, one with Aaron Dill as well. So kind of got both there, which will be up and there to take a look at. And it's kind of cool. It was Morgan gracious to take a photo with me, and it was kind of fun to post. So that's there. And I think for that, I'm gonna go. I know this is a super short episode, but gonna wrap it up here and try to get finished uploading some stuff, and then get a little bit of sleep, rest the old feet, and get back at it tomorrow. So if you see me walking around with the WRX hat or whatever, definitely say hi, and it'll be exciting to go out and see everybody, but try to get some more info on what else is there. So try to see some more accessories, maybe some more clothing and stuff like that. So. So that is probably it for the show today. Hopefully you guys have a great week. If you're down to the show, be safe, have fun, and enjoy it. And before we go, remember, this episode was brought to you by Titleist and the T-Series irons. So please check out the brand new T100, T150, T200, and T350 irons. They're refined in every way and totally redesigned from the kind of the ground up. And if you're looking for feel, soft feel, and that player's look, the T100, if you're looking for that perfect kind of cheater club like I like, the T150 blends forgiveness, feel, in a great package. And then the T200 looks good, feels and sounds even better than it did previously, launches a little higher, goes forever, super hot face. And then the T350 just goes high, straight, ultra forgiving, good sound and feel, and honestly pretty good look as well. So go to Titleist.com, check out the brand new T-Series irons. And that's all I've got. So hopefully you guys have a good evening, have a good rest of the day, have a good weekend, and then anybody at the show, hey, safe travels home. Hopefully you get home safe, sound, and on to another week. So hopefully you guys have a good one. We'll talk next week.